All right, so picture this. 50 YouTubers, $1 million up for grabs, all stuck inside a giant box and forced to compete in these totally wild challenges. Today, we're diving deep into Mr. Beast's 50 YouTubers fight for $1,000,000. And let me tell you, this is not your run-of-the-mill YouTube collab.
Not even close. The stakes are through the roof, that pressure is relentless, and the viewers, oh, they've got front row seats to all the drama, the alliances, the inevitable
Oh, the
betrayals.
betrayals. We're talking about a cool $1,000,000 here. People do some crazy stuff for that kind of cash, even turn on their friends.
And that's what makes this more than just a competition, right? It becomes a social experiment. How does this pressure cooker environment, this very public stage, how does that change the way people interact, the choices they make?
And right off the bat, Mr. Beast throws a curveball that sets the tone for the whole challenge, the Cybertruck Challenge. Sink a free throw, win a Cybertruck for a subscriber. Sounds easy enough, but you could practically see the doubt creeping in.
And remember, these are YouTubers, not exactly NBA stars.
Yeah.
The pressure of potentially letting down thousands, maybe even millions of people, plus the sheer luck involved in a basketball shot. It got to some of the best of them.
Mark Rober, the engineering genius himself, missed that free throw. And Gideon, who's usually so cool and collected, gone. It was like the pressure just sucked all the talent right out of him.
What's fascinating is it wasn't just about the money. Sure, a free Cybertruck is awesome, but there's also this element of pride, of not wanting to disappoint your community.
Totally. And just when they think they can breathe again, Mr. Beast drops another bombshell. Aisha Speed, notorious for his unpredictable antics, shows up over 24 hours late and once in.
Talk about a power shift. You have these exhausted YouTubers already battling it out for a huge prize, and suddenly there's this wild card who could just waltz in and steal the show.
And they had to vote on whether to let him in. I can't even imagine the tension in that room. On the one hand, eliminate a potential threat, but then again, maybe Speed will just cause chaos and take himself outright,
Because let's be honest, chaos seems to follow IShowSpeed wherever he goes.
like a magnet. But speaking of chaos, let's move on to the cookie challenge, which, on the surface, seems almost too easy. Cut a shape out of a giant cookie. Simple, right?
Deceptively simple. Mr. Beast chose some seriously challenging shapes, putting those cookie-cutting skills to the ultimate test. Some got lucky, but that umbrella shape, brutal.
Poor Pokemon. She got stuck with the umbrella and it crumbled before her eyes. You could feel the devastation, and not just for herself, but for her team too.
And that's where we really start to see the impact of this pressure cooker they're in. It's not just a fun challenge anymore, it's a test of their resilience, their ability to perform under pressure.
And then there's Sketch, who got the dreaded umbrella from his own teammate. Talk about betrayal. You could see the hurt in his eyes. And it just goes to show, even the strongest bonds can be tested when $1,000,000 is on the line. But wait till you hear what happens during the giant Jenga challenge.
Oh, the Jenga challenge, where even the laws of physics seem to buckle under the pressure. We'll dive into that right after this.
So alliances are crumbling like a poorly cut cookie. Things are about to get better, literally larger than life, with the giant Jenga challenge.
Imagine a Jenga tower so tall you need a ladder to reach the top. The sheer scale of it just adds this whole other layer of pressure.
Yeah, this isn't some casual game night anymore.
Not at all.
One wrong nove, and that massive tower is coming down. You're not just taking yourself out, you're taking out your whole team. The stakes just went up like 100 times more intense.
That's where the strategic thinking, or sometimes the lack of it, becomes very clear. Like, we saw some super clever moves, but then there was KSI getting taken out by his own teammate, AJ.
I gasped when that happened. You could just see the shock on KSI's face. Ouch! Talk about rubbing salt in the wound.
It was definitely a calculated risk on AJ's part, though. He knew he was eliminating himself, too. But it also meant taking out a major competitor. Classic prisoner's dilemma. Sometimes you gotta prioritize your own self-interest, even if it means betraying someone.
It's a dog-eat-dog world,
Yeah.
even when giant Jenga towers are involved.
Hmm.
But this challenge wasn't all betrayal and cutthroat tactics, right? There were some genuinely heartwarming moments of friendship, too.
Definitely. We saw YouTubers ready to sacrifice their own spot to save their friends from elimination. It was a good reminder that even in the heat of all that competition, camaraderie and loyalty still matter.
Yeah, those are the things that really get me invested. You could see the genuine care and concern they had for each other, even with $1,000,000 on the line.
Hmm.
That's real. But okay, let's switch gears for a second, talk about that steal or no steal game.
Oh, Oh, the heart rate challenge, the one where even a tiny twitch can reveal your true intentions.
Right.
Seeing those numbers jump around as they're trying to bluff their way through is wild.
I felt like I needed a heart rate monitor just watching them. Remember Logan Paul? His heart rate practically exploded when he was trying to convince Ludwig to keep that briefcase. You could tell he was lying.
Body language is everything in a challenge like that.
Yeah.
It's all about reading your opponents, picking up on those little cues that reveal their true motives.
Totally.
And sometimes it's about trusting your gut, even when your heart's going crazy.
Like Valkyrie, that double bluff she pulled.
Oh, yeah.
Pretending to be devastated over a case, even got her heart rate up to 152, and then bam! Steals it right at the last second, ice cold.
Now that was a power move. That moment right there showed she had the strategic mind, and the poker face needed to go all the way. But even the best poker face can't hide a total lack of culinary skills. Which brings us to the cooking challenge, the one where they had to cook for these super opinionated judges.
And what a panel.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut, the competitive eating champ, Miranda Cosgrove, the actress, and of course the one and only agent of chaos himself, IShowSpeed, back for more after being voted out.
Wow.
You couldn't dream up a more eclectic group.
No way.
You've got YouTubers totally out of their element trying to impress these judges with wildly different tastes. Talk about pressure. And don't forget about the strategic use of that Ronaldo pasta to try and win someone over.
Oh, the Ronaldo pasta. A valiant effort for sure, but Speed wasn't having it.
Nope.
But the real kicker. Speed accidentally eliminates himself. Again. This time by chucking a plate and stepping over the line.
It's like he's allergic to staying in the competition.
Right.
But you got to admit, even in his elimination, he brings the entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
That chaotic energy you can't help but watch.
Totally.
He definitely keeps things interesting. But with Speed out of the picture, for real this time, the game is on. Only 5 YouTubers left, and they're playing for keeps. But how do you even strategize when the final challenge is $1 million briefcase and a whole lot of bluffing?
That, my friend, is where their social intelligence is truly put to the test.
We are down to the wire. 5 YouTubers, $1 million dream. And in true Mr. Beast fashion, he throws one last curveball. The briefcase challenge. A lot of bluffing going on.
Genius. Final test. Not about just reading people, but managing your own emotions, those tells, that poker face. Psychological warfare, pure and simple.
Some handled it way better than others. Remember how sure everyone was that Ludwig had that $1 million briefcase?
Oh, his body language was practically screaming it, or so we thought. Turned out he was playing the long game, throwing everyone off his scent.
Almost worked, too. It's kind of wild seeing these creators used to controlling their content, their stories, having to roll with the punches in this totally unpredictable environment.
Absolutely. Totally different game. On YouTube, you edit, reshoot, control the message. Here, it's all about instinct, split-second choices that could make you or break you.
And in the end, it was Jaden Animations who played it right. But what really got me, her decision to use those winnings to support aspiring artists, sending them to art school.
Shows you, for a lot of these creators, their success is tied to their community. They remember where they came from, the struggles, and they're paying it forward.
Easy to get caught up in the drama, the competition. But honestly, this challenge showed a different side of YouTube. Collaboration, generosity, using your influence for good.
Powerful stuff. Success isn't just money or fame, it's the mark you leave on the world.
So we've gone deep into Mr. Beast's $1 million challenge, and it leaves you thinking. The psychology of competition, friendship tested under pressure, how people react when life-changing money's up for grabs.
Fascinating look at human nature. What we do when the stakes are high and all eyes are on us makes you wonder, what would you have done differently?